About 7 months, and it's starting right now. So this is what it looks like today here in Miami Beach, and when it starts looking like this here, you can pretty much guarantee summer is here to stay. Yeah, we're gonna have nicer days here and there, but when summer comes, we get a lot of rain here in Florida. We really haven't had much rain in the past couple of months, which is normal for spring here. But now that it's becoming to be more like summer, we're starting to get that rain, that humidity is starting to crank up, and the daily and nighttime temperatures are also cranking up with it. So usually it doesn't start getting this hot until about a month from now. Usually like the middle of May, you can really start feeling the heat ticking up here, and then especially by June, it really starts feeling like summer here. But this year, it seems like summer is coming early. I mean, it's only the middle of April, and the daytime temperatures have been feeling like in the mid 90s. Like just a couple days ago, I checked the weather app, says it feels like 95 degrees outside with the humidity. The actual temperature was like 86 or something, but that humidity really ratchets up the heat level. And to reality, it doesn't really matter what the temperature says, it only matters how you feel when you're outside. The reason why I say 7 months is because if you figure, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, that's 7 months from now. And usually you're going to be feeling the heat here from now all the way until about, I would say, Halloween, sometimes even Thanksgiving. It depends on the year. Like this past year, it stayed pretty warm up until about Thanksgiving. And the year before that, by Halloween, it started really cooling off, and November was pretty mild. But it does vary by the year. So in Florida, we got a good 6-7 months long of summer, and that's a very long time for it to be hot. So if the heat is a concern for you, you might want to second guess moving here, because it can get very hot here and it's relentless. Let me tell you, it's hot daytime and nighttime, and it just doesn't quit. As you might know from some of my past videos, I go for late night walks here on the Miami Beach boardwalk, and even at 10, 11 o'clock at night when I'm out there, it's still been pretty hot lately. Sometimes the phone is saying feels like 90 degrees at this time, and keep in mind, it's not even summer yet. So it's gonna get worse, it's gonna get hotter. So here's a couple things to keep in mind. If you're gonna be moving to an area like Tampa or Orlando, they have it even worse over there than we have it. Tampa is probably like the hottest place in all of Florida, I feel like. When I look at the weather at any given moment, especially during the summer, it's always just so hot over there. And I've been to Tampa in the summertime, and it was definitely hotter than Miami, almost maybe 10 degrees hotter. And Orlando is kind of the same deal. Because it's not really on any of the coasts, you're kind of like smack dead in the middle of the state there. Usually when you go inland, it gets even hotter than when you're by the water. Tampa is a city that's surrounded by water, so I have no idea why it's so hot over there. So if you're a weatherman out there watching this, make sure to comment below and let us all know why, because I have no idea. And me being from northern Illinois, we actually get really hot summers there too. And if you're from like the Midwest like me, or even, somewhere else in the country up north, there's a good chance you have pretty hot summers too. But the difference is up there, it at least cools down at nighttime, and you get like a relief from the heat. And here in Florida, that just doesn't happen. Even in northern Florida, I was in St. Augustine last summer, and it was still pretty hot at nighttime. I felt a little bit of a difference, like the relief from the heat between daytime and nighttime. When it got to be dark, you felt a difference in the temperature, and it felt a little bit cooler than here when it's dark, but the difference was pretty minimal, and it was still really hot. Other than going for a swim often, and jumping in your pool in your backyard or at your condo wherever you live, or taking a dip in the ocean, there's not many ways to stay away from the heat in the summertime here. It's just kind of a fact of life in Florida that it's just hot in the summertime nonstop. And besides doing that, you pretty much just have to stay inside in your air conditioning if you want to defeat that heat. You have to assess your heat level tolerance to see if it's really for you. And I suggest that if you're going to be moving to Florida, come down here at least once and visit here in the summertime to get a good idea of what it's like down here. Because if you've only been here in the wintertime on vacation, that's like the most beautiful time of year to visit Florida. But the real time of year to visit Florida is the summertime, because then you get to see what you're going to be facing the majority of the year with the rain, the humidity, and the heat. My personal tool that I plan on using to combat the heat in the future, which I haven't been able to do yet, but I hope one day my big goal is to be able to spend at least 3 or 4 months of the summer away from Florida. I plan on spending it in California because I just love California, and it's definitely not as hot there as here, especially in Northern California. It can actually be pretty cold. So I plan on bouncing around the state over there for maybe a month or two, and then visiting some family back home in Illinois once I'm able to do that financially. So I can't do that yet, but maybe in the next couple of years I can start doing something like that. That's the plan anyway. So I hope I'm going to be able to start doing that and kind of get away from Florida for the summertime. I think that's truly the only way to really defeat it, is to not be here for it. And really, that's why you have so many people that come down here in the wintertime too. I mean, you think about it, if you have people from Canada or Illinois or somewhere else in the Midwest or New York, you know, they come down here and enjoy our beautiful winters, because up there it's freezing, it's snowing, it's depressing, it's miserable. And down here it's beautiful, you know, it's mid-70s, you got sunshine every day, the beach is beautiful, there's plenty of things to do, and so on. But, you know, in the summertime, the draw is just not there. You know, those people can go back to New York or Canada or wherever, and it's beautiful up there. You get to spend the beautiful mild summers up in those regions and still be near your family and friends, and take advantage of all the things that you can do up there and not be like dying of a heat stroke down here in Florida. By no means am I trying to dissuade you from moving to Florida. I love Florida, and the heat is a small price to pay really to live in such a beautiful place, and it's, you know, it bothers me a little bit, and some days it's more bothersome than others, but overall I can deal with it. You know, it's not uncommon to have, you know, 100+ days in Illinois, and I've been through that too. So it's not a big deal for me. I can deal with it. I'll take that over the freezing cold winters any day. The point of the video is really just a public service announcement, because a lot of people that are thinking about moving here might not realize how hot it is and how long the summers actually last here. It's going to be a lot hotter than what you're used to unless you grew up in a really hot climate. So I just want to put that out there for anybody that's thinking about moving here. So I know some of this was kind of a rant. This video is probably a little bit longer than it needs to be. I just wanted to give you a realistic idea of how long summer here really is, my thoughts on it, how I handle it, how I'm planning on handling it in the future, and how you should handle it. So if you enjoyed this video, the one thing you need to do is need to go over here and check out some more of my videos, and I will see you over there.